The EVP show keeps the drama in place. Let's go, where the heroes rise and the legends grow. CJP brings the shots, you know. The EVP show is out of control.
What is going on, everyone? It's the EVP from the EVP show, and I am live. Sorry, I started a minute or so late, but I am here. I am live, and this is going to be a double header episode. So, yeah, I'm here for the WWE Raw Recap. Obviously, Raw was on at 3 p.m. Eastern today on Netflix, so I'm actually getting to stream this early. I will also be back at 11 p.m., probably 30 minutes to an hour following this stream with my LFG recap as well, so stay tuned for that. So, yeah, glad to see everybody here. We are actually streaming live from my Facebook, from my YouTube channel, and from X as well. So glad to see everyone. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, this is the Raw Recap. This is the Go Home Raw for Clash in Paris coming up Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So they were live, obviously, from the sold out BP Post Arena in Birmingham, BP Post Arena in Birmingham, England, which is basically UK. Same thing. Yeah, sold out. From what I was told, they had to sell some extra seats as well. What's going on, Nitro? Good to see you. Talk it up, talk it up. Yep, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, so for tonight we had the obviously the announcers were Michael Cole and Corey Graves, and your ring announcers was Alicia Taylor, the talented and lovely Miss Alicia Taylor. So yeah, I went really. I think they had to sell extra seats for this show, or they were advertising they were gonna be putting extra seats on there, but it was a lot of people, a packed house. Birmingham was rocking. So, beginning of the show, they're showing last Monday's main event with Jey Uso versus Brian Breaker, the Extreme Rules match that they had in Philly. Just kind of showing how, everything unraveled at the end. Brian actually thought that he had it in the bag, and then Roman Reigns' music hit, and Roman appeared from the crowd and hit a monster spear on Brian Breaker, and then hit the Superman punch to Bronson Reed. So yeah, that's kind of how Raw ended. Obviously, last week the OTC and main event Jey Uso were both standing tall last week. So that was a great main event last week. By the way, that match was phenomenal. So then we see LA Knight walking in. They announced this like 5 or 6 times during the show that he's going to be facing Brian Breaker tonight in the main event of the show. So then we see the Eradicator, Rhea Ripley, walking in, as well as she's going to be going one-on-one tonight with Roxanne Perez. So yeah, and then walking up is one of my all-time favorites, the one-time Hall of Famer Nikki Bella, as she is on Raw tonight to call out Becky Lynch. So yeah, definitely was looking forward to this segment, and it definitely did not disappoint. So without further ado, the show kicks off with the OTC Roman Reigns. Fans were just absolutely going crazy. It's been a while. I mean, we have heard Roman on the mic, but ever since he dropped the title, it's been, the promos have been kind of few and far between. Appreciate that, Miami the Great, for reposting the stream. Once again, thank you everybody that's tuning in. We're live on my Facebook, on my YouTube, and also on X. So yeah, thank you guys for coming on and reposting the stream. Miami, appreciate that. So Roman Reigns kicks off. The fans. This started way back right before WrestleMania. The fans, when they went overseas, the fans started doing the Roman Reigns. They just started that with him and with Cody and with several other superstars. So the fans start chanting that. Obviously, OTC chants are just running rampant through the sold out BP Post Arena. It was wild. Huge pop. So yeah, Roman's promo was phenomenal. I got a couple of minor things I want to point out in that promo that, from my vantage point, the way I saw it, I don't know, kind of seemed like, maybe, I don't know. We'll get to that. But yeah, it was a great promo for sure. So Roman kicks off. He said basically he could do this all night, but let's get to it. He says, Birmingham, acknowledge him. OTC chants, going crazy. Like, they're just nonstop. Like, he can barely even talk. The fans are going crazy. He tells the fans that it feels like old times. He said that basically he told the fans they were loud as hell. He was enjoying that. He said that he's got big plans tonight, big plans for the rest of the year. I did. They did boo Cody. They also booed Seth Rollins as well. I definitely heard that for sure. So he said big plans tonight, big plans rest of this year, and big plans next year. So before I move forward with the promo, Roman was on Vanity Fair. I don't know how long ago it was, a few months ago, and Roman, did an interview. Basically told everybody he's not like Cena where this is like his last run or anything like that. But he said that, he could be around for maybe another 1 to 2, maybe possibly 3 years tops. I guess it really just depends on how things are going in Hollywood. I appreciate that DWE host for reposting the stream. So yeah, I mean, looking at it, it's like, I took this. I like to overanalyze these promos. Appreciate that, DWE host. Much love. I like to overanalyze these promos, but for me, like with the Roman, when he said that, like, I got plans now, I got plans this year, rest of this year, and I got plans next year. There's a couple of different ways you can dissect it, but for me, I don't know if he's kind of putting that breadcrumb out there that I don't know how much longer, like, I'm gonna be doing this, so like I'm kind of soaking it in. Obviously, all of us that's been following the story for a long time since Roman was a champion, obviously, feel like the story like has to end with Roman and Rock, but we've been disappointed time in, time out, and have not got that match yet. I don't know, just the way he said it just kind of seemed like he was reiterating, like, hey, I might not have much time left. So, I got plans for this year and next year, but, he didn't say anything about farther than that. So, could that have been like a breadcrumb? I could be over analyzing, but I mean, I'm just basing it off of he started making what's going on, Nitro. I'm personally loving the Sheila Paula gimmick for Bronson. Shit's funny. Yeah, it is funny for sure. I could be overanalyzing, but I know like what he said in Vanity, like, you know, the time clock is ticking. Like he was champion for so long, his family is super elevated now. Jay's been world champion. We have Solo US champion Jacob Fatu. Has also been the United States champion. Jimmy and Jay have had multiple title runs. So, when this long reign for Roman was going on, he stressed that, the ultimate goal is to elevate the entire family. Thank you, Alan of DWE, as well for reposting the stream. And let's see, Bentu. I just hope Io doesn't give Rhea what. We will definitely get to that, Bentu. Thank you. If you want to comment back, he doesn't give Rhea what. I don't know. It just kind of seemed like he was hinting that, I don't know, maybe after next year, like, we could be done. Like, are we going to get Rock Roman finally? Like, I think that's where the story like has to end. Okay. Perfect. Appreciate that. I just hope Io doesn't give up on Rhea. I don't think so. I think thumbnail is blurry. Yeah. Well, you sent it to me, so but yeah, I think it's my phone, but it's okay. Let's see. I don't think Triple H is not giving up on Rhea. I really feel like I might get to Rhea stuff later because I'll get sidetracked. But yeah, Ryan, you're funny. This thumbnail for some reason is blurry. I'm not quite sure why, but I don't know. It kind of seemed like, and I'll definitely get back to you, Ben, too, once I get on the Rhea Io stuff. I haven't forgot. So he says that he's not the same guy that he used to be. And the fans, Rhea, I think so. I think so as well. I definitely think that. We're going to see that heel turn, the full heel turn from Asuka. I don't know how Kyrie plays into this because obviously she acts like she really doesn't want to go heel. So, I mean, ultimately, I don't know if she's going to be left with a choice. But yeah, they're definitely building towards a Rhea, Io, Asuka, Kyrie Sane match coming soon. And then, I mean, could Io and Rhea be the ones to take the titles off Charlotte and Alexa? Like, I'd love to see that match. I think that match would like eat like 100% for sure. So back to Roman, he says that he's not the same guy he used to be. And then the fans start chanting, "Yes, you are. Yes, you are." And Roman says, "Well, maybe I can be." Obviously, in his sarcastic, tribal chief type way. So then he goes on to say Cody Rhodes predicted all of this was going to happen a year and a half ago. And to credit to Cody, he did. Like, he did say, like, you're gonna lose your title, you're gonna lose your wise man, you're gonna lose your bloodline, like there's not a he's gonna be a chief with no tribe, basically. And that's kind of where we're at. Like, that's what Roman was basically getting at, is he's basically a chief with no tribe. And Cody was right about that. Obviously, the fans start chanting, booing Cody. And Roman was like, "Oh yeah, I kind of agree there. A little cheap pop thing at Cody." And then he also said that he starts talking about Seth, and he says, what's their name again? Oh yeah, the Vision. Obviously they've been called all kinds of things, the Sour Patch Kids and everything else. But he said Seth also was also correct on what Cody said. He followed through. Happy National Banana Split Day to you, Zach, as well. I might have a banana split tonight. That sounds really good. Thank you for that. So he said he doesn't have his bloodline. Even though he doesn't, he's extremely proud of Jay. He told the fans like it's wrong to question him being in this fatal 4-way match that Jay is in come Clash in Paris, because he actually got the pinfall in the match, and Roman even brought up the rematch clause, which I thought was really surprising because we don't hardly ever hear that anymore. He said that his time will come. I mean, we do expect Roman to get another title match at some point, whether it's with I'm probably Seth. I think they're gonna stretch this out to WrestleMania for sure. So, he said his time will come. The wise man, like I said, he talked about the wise man, the titles, the bloodline, like he lost all of that. So he is interrupted by Paul Heyman and Bronson Reed, Mr. Shulafala, and the tribal thief himself. They called him the tribal thief, the owner of the Shulafala. So Reed pointed out 5 years ago, pointed out to Paul Heyman that 5 years ago today was the day that Brock Lesnar's advocate became the wise man for the tribal chief. Let's see. Do you think they take too long doing that match? Which match? The Roman Seth? If that's what we're talking about, I do. I think that WWE is going to I think they're going to build up this vision group and Seth and them for a while. And then I think that Seth and Roman. I do. I think it's gonna stretch out for a while. I think at the earliest Royal Rumble, at the latest WrestleMania. This story is going to continue on through the rest of this year up until the beginning of next year. I feel like the end goal would be maybe Seth and Roman for the world title at WrestleMania, or if Braun turns on Seth before then and wins the title from Seth, then we could see Roman Braun at WrestleMania for the world title, something like that. I think ultimately it's going to be one of those two ways for sure. So Bronson Reed pointed out that 5 years ago today that Brock Lesnar's advocate became Roman Reigns' wise man. 5 years, he said. The duo created the bloodline, which was the greatest of all time. It owned all of WWE. It changed the industry as we know it today. He said, "Look at you standing all alone in the ring by yourself." He said, "I miss you, my tribal chief. And also, I love you." He said, 5 years ago, I loved you, and now I love you. He said, "But I did come out to disrespect." He said, "I did come out to disrespect you, my tribal chief." And then obviously the fans start chanting for OTC, and Paul does a thing trying to get them to switch to go to Bronson Reed. They're not going to do that. And then Paul says people are not tough enough to live in Manchester, and they're not rich enough to live in London. He said that Roman Reigns needs tough love from the Oracle. And he said Bronson will beat the tough love into him. Roman says that he's a dumbass, and he said he is going to kiss Roman's rear end. and he is going to whoop Bronson Reed's ass come Sunday. Bronson Reed says it's all about disrespect. He said that he said he can come down. He basically told him he would come down there right now and take his other pair of shoes. He said, Bronson Reed says, your tribe from Samoa is civilized, but mine isn't. He also told Roman that the tattoos he had on were paid for, and the one that Bronson Reed had on were earned. He said, I'm the Samoan that your dad and your uncle warned us about. So Bronson did hold his own in this promo. It was a back and forth. Roman killed it, obviously, but Bronson, you don't really hear him talk too much on the mic, but it was definitely a big improvement tonight. He said, Roman said, oh, so he's Samoan? So I'm going to give you one more shot since we're cut from the same fabric. One chance to come down, return my shoes, acknowledge me, and don't send disrespect this way again. Reed said if he comes down there, Roman will acknowledge him as the tribal thief. So Roman said, well, if you're not going to come down here, then I'm going to come down there. And we are going to, they started fighting. Roman met him in the aisleway. Fists were thrown like back and forth. So yeah, the security come out. Well, before they went to that, like they got back in the ring, security came out. Bronson Reed beat up security. So like this was just wild. Adam Pearce was out there. Before Bronson was able to hit a tsunami, Roman did end up hitting Bronson with a Superman punch, knocked him off the top of the rope. And then we thought it was over, and then we see Roman Reigns sneak around the outside of the ring and jumps on Reed, and they continue battling down the entryway. So, yeah, that was for me the best segment of the night. Great promos. Roman killed it. Love Bronson's promo tonight as well. I think Asuka's overreacting. Oh, 100%. 100%. She's overreacting. She's just jealous. It's just a jealousy thing. So we go to the back after that, and we see JD McChicken Nugget, JD McDonough, and Finn Balor, the WWE Tag Champions. They see Dominic Mysterio talking to El Grande Americano. Finn asked Dom, like, what's going on? Like, why are you still fooling with this guy? Dom said, don't trip, chocolate chip, which, I mean, I don't really know what that means. It's kind of funny, but Dom just being funny. So the first match we had on the card was Dragon Lee versus JD McDonough of the Judgment Day, and he was accompanied to the ring by Finn Balor. That is the WWE Raw Tag Team Champions. Now, Rey Mysterio said previous week that Dragon Lee was the face of Lucha Libre. Starting off the match, we see a Dragon Screw to McDonough. He hits the Wrecking Ball, dive twice to JD. Finn Balor's up on the rope. At that time, the referee, Jessica Carr, kicks Finn Balor out of the match, which is going to be a turning point because no Balor, no cheating, no Judgment Day. So good stuff there. JD takes Dragon Lee out with a drop kick. Corey Graves said to let these two cook, and they definitely did. It's in a Liger Bomb into a sit down pile driver to JD, but JD is back up. And we know JD is tough because he obviously broke punctured a rib or something a while back. He was out for a while, so and he finished the match. But yeah, very good match, up and down. The finish, he hit his operation Operation Dragon for the 1, 2, 3, or the Operation Drago, whatever he calls it. I think it's Operation Dragon for the 1, 2, 3, and the winner is Dragon Lee. Absolutely phenomenal match. JD can go, Dragon Lee can go. This Raw is kind of starting off cooking with the promo, opening the segment. I enjoyed it. So Dragon Lee comes out with the win. So in the back we see Jackie Redmond with LA Knight, and she tells him that he has a big match in Clash in Paris. Obviously, it's a fatal 4-way for Seth's WWE Raw Championship. But she said he also has a big match tonight against Braun Breaker. So LA Knight goes on to talk about CM Punk and how he just doesn't trust him. He doesn't know. Like Jackie tried to say, like, and it was an accident. But then you saw the look on Punk's face last week when Knight went through a table. He just kind of shrugged it off. But it truly was an accident. So I mean, I don't. But he said he don't trust Punk. But when the dust settles in the main event, I think it's going to be the main event, Clash in Paris, that he will be the next WWE Raw Heavyweight Champion. And he said everybody's going to be saying LA Knight, yeah. So love LA Knight's promos. He says the same stuff, but for me, it never gets old. So up next, we see our next match, which is Penta going up against Kofi Kingston. But before that, they do a Rusev versus Sheamus vignette in the back, obviously showing that I'm just glad we got Dragon Lee. Yes, me as well. I'm glad he was able to get the win, and yeah, great match, great opening match. Both of them can go, and Ray could be right. Like Dragon Lee could be the future of Lucha Libre, even though I think it may be Dominic Mysterio. But it was still a great match. Dragon Lee's great. So we get the Rusev and Sheamus vignette in the back. Obviously, we're going to see them go head to head. They've already faced each other a couple times, but they will go head to head at Clash in Paris in a Donnybrook match, which means anything goes. Like, no bets are off. Like, they can just do whatever they want. I think this is the best way to end that feud. I'm a little shocked it's on the card, but this Clash in Paris card isn't a 5-star card, to be honest with you. We have 5 matches announced, and then we're gonna get our 6th match announced Friday on SmackDown with the SmackDown Tag Championship. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this match because I think this can be like the end with these two. Like, I think that's the best way to end this feud with these two. Rusev needs to move on. Like, he hasn't really done much since he came over from AEW. So I think this is a great way to put an end to this feud, and then we can go on. Like, Rusev and Sheamus can kind of go on to other things. Rusev needs to be trying to get himself involved in that mid-card title, in my opinion, anyway. So we see Roxanne and Raquel in the back, and Finn said that Dom was supposed to have JD back. So obviously there's still dissension between the Judgment Day. They just have not broke up yet. Raquel said that Liv Morgan wouldn't want this. So this is like the first or second time that we're going to hear about Liv's name gets name dropped tonight. So yeah, we're going to see. Could we be seeing the return of Liv Morgan soon? Possibility. It's a possibility for sure. So Raquel said that, Liv didn't want this, and Dom said that she was right. And Dom told Finn Balor to go handle the AJ Styles situation. Obviously, AJ, has just been following Dom around, and he said he wants his title, so he wants that title. So obviously later on we're gonna see, Finn Balor going 1-on-1 against AJ Styles. So they call him Big G. Grayson Waller he's with the New Day. Um, and obviously Xavier Woods is accompanying Kofi Kingston. They have a petition out, and they go over there and get Corey Graves to sign this petition to have the Mexican Destroyer banned in WWE. Um, so yeah, this storyline's just wild. So we get Penta and Kofi Kingston, another great match. Penta starts off taking it to Kofi Kingston. Kingston hits a big move off the top rope for 2 count. Penta hits a clothesline. Penta clothesline Kofi over the top rope. Kingston runs down the aisleway like he's gonna run away from the match. Then they start talking about this New Day thing with the mourning process of the death of the tag titles. They're on this grieving thing now with the New Day. And then they're playing up that Xavier Woods has a cervical injury, which I haven't heard of that. And if anybody in the comments is hurt, I don't think Xavier's really hurt. I think it's kayfabe. Dom is going to be great. Dom is legendary. I love Dom. So New Day has become nothing but a comedic act. Miami, to be honest with you, I'm just since they went heel, they won the tag titles, but it's been straight down since there. It hasn't been good at all, at all. Like they need to change, like quick. I agree. So yeah, 100%. Put a comment up there. Yep, for sure. They need a change. They have to get a change. So ultimately, great match. Penta does a couple of high flying moves over the top rope, which he did land on Xavier Woods. So, I mean, if there's something wrong with Xavier, like with a cervical injury, like I don't know if he would have been able to take that bump. Grayson ends up distracting, and Kofi hits the Trouble in Paradise for the 1-2-3 win. Kofi Kingston gets the win over Penta. I was really surprised about that. I thought they were on the right track with Penta. Yeah, 100%. I know it's a work, but they were like really like working it up tonight. WWE loves the works. You ain't lying about that. I was surprised by this, honestly. Penta got the win last week over Xavier. Like that, he's taking a lot of L's. So look, they said the mourning process has finally started. That they're able to WWE can finally begin to slowly heal from this mourning process, which is I don't know what they're doing. I really don't. So then we get a commercial with the showing the countdown show for Clash in Paris. Will start at 12 p.m. Eastern Sunday, so 11 p.m. Central, and I'm guessing that's 3 hours ahead or 3 hours behind. I'm guessing that's 9 a.m. Pacific. I'm guessing. I'm terrible with time zones, so don't quote me on that. And then that the PLE will start at 2 p.m. Eastern Sunday. They're showing the Netflix Unreal clip of Cody Rhodes as he's pulling up into WrestleMania that weekend, saying that he's nice to even John Cena fans. So they kind of take you behind the curtain on that one clip of Cody from WWE Unreal. If you haven't seen that on Netflix, check it out. I also have a video that I broke down into all five different episodes on my YouTube channel if you want to check that out. So yeah. So they're showing the ongoing soap opera is what they called it between Io Sky and Asuka and Kairi Sane and Rhea Ripley. So basically, to put it in a nutshell, you know, Io told Asuka and Kairi the last 2 weeks that she didn't need their help, and then she wanted to do it on her own. Obviously, Rhea came out to assist. Asuka didn't like it. They got into all of them were sitting there arguing. Io kind of runs to the door. It's just it is like a soap opera, honestly. Um, so we see Rhea warming up, doing her little warm ups for the match. And Io comes up behind her and tells her, "Thanks for having my back." She said that Kairi and Asuka is her family and they are not happy about Rhea getting involved. She tells Rhea that they need to keep their distance for a while. Rhea says that she understands and that whatever she thinks best for her, um, that she's willing to do that. I think Io just doesn't want Asuka to be mad at her at all. Mad at her, but all Rhea did was, yeah, I agree, 100%. It's just jealousy on Asuka's part. Her and Kyrie want Io all to themselves. And Rhea and Io have been close for a while. They've had a lot. I mean, Rhea's never beat Io, but there's still a lot of mutual respect there. So, but yeah. So yeah, it is kind of like a soap opera. So Rhea agrees that if they need to keep the distance, that's fine. They hug, and you can see Asuka and Kairi in the background, and they are not happy at all. You can see Asuka and Kairi storm out. So we get a WWE commercial promotion on WWE on ESPN. In case you guys have been living under a rock, yeah, that part was great. Miami, I think so as well. In case you guys have been living under a rock, WWE is moving to ESPN, the DTC direct to consumer platform, the Unlimited ESPN Unlimited, um, starting on September the 20th from Indianapolis, Indiana. And Pat McAfee will be back for that as well. We will see WrestlePalooza. Looking forward to that. Seeing how it's going to work out on ESPN. Hopefully, there's no buffering or anything like that. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it's going to pan out on ESPN. That's going to be our first. After Clash in Paris, there will be no more main roster PLEs besides Saturday night's main event. If you want to call that a PLE on Peacock, they will all be moving to ESPN starting September 20th with WrestlePalooza. So then they showed the clip of Naomi and Big Jim on Stephanie McMahon's podcast, with Big Jim announcing that they have a baby on the way. Congratulations to them again. Then they showed the little video package of Naomi when she had to vacate. She said the bloodline continues. She's going to vacate the title, but she told the female locker room that I'm coming back in 9 months, and you guys just do what you want to do with it for 9 months, but I'm coming back to get the title in 9 months. So that was very emotional. Obviously, Naomi's worked really hard. Her character is great. So, you know, but also happy for them because they're also having a baby. So this is where it starts to get interesting. Obviously, we're gonna play a guessing game here now, I guess. Adam Pierce is in the back with La Primera, Stephanie Vacour, and he tells her that I know you're disappointed, but the match and Clash in Paris is not going to happen. So Adam Pierce does reassure Stephanie that she is the number one contender and that she will get a title match, but he needs to sort some stuff out, and that next week on Raw, Adam Pierce is going to give Stephanie her opponent and let her know when that match is going to take place. So, oh boy, I thought WWE was going to play it safe and just run back Stephanie and Io, Clash in Paris. They've had 2 matches on Raw with no finishes. I thought that was the safest route. I thought that would probably be the best route. Just going ahead and plugging Stephanie in as champ after Clash in Paris. Oh yeah, on ESPN. Yeah, in case you guys forgot, ESPN is now going to be holding WWE Premium Live events. Yeah, it's going to be a load of fun. So I don't know how they're going to do it. I put up a list of 5 names that could possibly. They're not calling anyone up for this. Like that would just that wouldn't make any sense. So the 5 names I come up with is obviously Liv Morgan. But are they going to do a Stephanie Liv match on a? I mean, they have time to build it a couple of weeks, I guess, with WrestlePalooza being the 20th. If they're going to do it, Liv's at the top of my list. The only other people I can think of that would make sense. I mean, I don't really think Bianca Belair would even make sense. She's been on SmackDown, so like, I know the draft is coming up, and that also will be on ESPN. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think they do Bianca Stephanie right now. That's a big money match. I can't see it, but I definitely put Bianca on my list. Also, Bailey is on my list. The character changes, but if she comes out like a heel, maybe I can see it, that's a possibility. Lyra, she's at number 5. I don't. So then I started thinking, and I said, who on the women's roster is a mainstay in the main event? It's not going to be Rhea. It's not going to be Io. It's not going to be Asuka. It's not going to be Natalia. It's not going to be Maxine Dupree. Who on the Raw roster needs? They don't need it, but they've stayed in the main event picture their entire career. So I started thinking, well, it needs to be a heel. So Becky Lynch. And the only reason why I think this is he said it's going to get sorted next week on Raw. What if Becky drops the title to Nikki Bella at Clash in Paris, which I think is I mean, people are laughing, but like she said she's back for a full-time run. So I don't know. I wouldn't bet against Nikki not beating Becky next or Sunday at Clash in Paris. We'll see, but I'm a Nikki fan, but I wouldn't rule it out. But if she does, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't plug Becky into that match against Stephanie Bakor. Obviously, I don't think Becky wins there, or maybe she does, and then maybe we get Becky Rhea in Perth. Because ultimately, we got to think about long term. Because Rhea's going to go into her home country. I just can't see her not having some sort of big, like, I don't think they do that tag match in Perth. Like, I really don't. Like, Triple H loves Rhea. I think they're going to do something extravagant and big for Rhea, but we'll see. That's the 5 that I have: Becky Lynch, Bailey, Lyra, Bianca, or Liv. Probably more than likely, I'm going to go with Liv or Becky Lynch if she drops the title to Nikki Bella. So, well, that being said, next out is the Women's Intercontinental Champion, Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch said that 13 years ago, she had a WWE tryout here in Birmingham, UK. She said it was a dump then, and it is a dump now. Obviously, going straight into the heel Becky. She says, speaking of dumps, let's talk about Nikki Bella. And obviously, as soon as she says her name, Nikki Bella's intro song comes out. Nikki Bella comes out. I think Nikki held her own as well in this promo. She said, "Hey Becky, um, why are you acting?" She said, "You're act." She called Nikki Bella a dog, and she said then Nikki calls Becky a dog and said she's acting like a whiny little bee. I'm not gonna cuss much on YouTube because I don't want to get canceled. But she called her a whiny little bee, female dog. She said that you have your problem is that you're scared to face me for that title. Becky said, "I'm not just handing out title shots everywhere. But I call the shots." She called Nikki Bella a broke neck Barbie. And I was like, wow, yeah, that's pretty. She went straight to it there. She didn't come with the John Cena thing, but yeah. So Nikki said, well, this broke neck Barbie whooped your ass last week. So yeah, I like that part. Um, Nikki talks about how she paved the way for Becky Lynch, which is all true. I mean, the Bellas, you know, they did pave the way for these superstars that are wrestling now. So Becky said she doesn't care. She said she didn't really care about Nikki Bella then. She doesn't care about her now. All she wanted to do was replace her. And she said you're scared to face the fact that you've always been Charlotte Flair's sidekick. I absolutely love that because I'm a big Charlotte Flair fan, so that was funny. Yeah, that was crazy. Love your channel. Thank you. Appreciate that. Solon. Sorry if I didn't get your name right. How you doing? So she calls her a Charlotte Flair sidekick, and Becky says that um Becky tells Nikki Bella that she has balls, which is crazy. Um So Nikki said you're a champion, but you're another C word, and Becky thought she was talking about that word, which I was like, oh boy, God, let's not say that on live TV. And she said, oh, I'm calling you a coward. She said, I'm not gonna wrestle you in Birmingham because they don't deserve to see me wrestle here tonight. Um so she said, I'm not wrestling here in Birmingham. She said Becky said that she will wrestle her at Clash in Paris. Nikki rips the belt away. Um, Becky goes for the manhandle slam. Nikki reverses, and then Nikki goes for the Rack Attack 2.0, and we see Becky escape. So we will see that match. It is official. A Clash in Paris. Nikki Bella versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. So I'm looking forward to that. I think Asuka's overreaction all Rhea did was help out. I agree. I agree. I think so too. Yeah, 100%. I don't know. People are sleeping on Nikki. I think she has a chance to walk out of Paris. She might not have a long title reign, but I think if she wins a title, like then you know we can start seeing some new matches because like who else is Becky really gonna face on that roster? So I don't know. I'm gonna go with Nikki as of today, but that could change. In the back we see Jackie Raven with CM Punk. He's talking about um being obsessed with being the heavyweight champion, which he always talks about that. He talks about, he's talking about his upcoming Fatal 4-Way. He said, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, LA Knight, I am going to paint a masterpiece in your blood, and everyone will be saying CM Punk. Yeah. You know what, Miami? I was actually thinking that too. If Liv's not going to be the one to go after, or even if she is the one to face Stephanie, which I don't know if they have her lose, but they could. Liv and Nikki were supposed to have a feud before Nikki got hurt. So yeah, I mean, there you go. Plug that in. There's the next challenger. Like I said, she could face a Roxanne or a Raquel or a Liv or, Bailey when she gets back with this whatever character she's gonna get. A Lyra. Could see a Nikki and Lyra match. Like there's so many matches that we could still see that I don't know where they're going with Becky from here out. So but yeah, that CM Punk promo was funny. He said everybody's gonna be saying CM Punk. Yeah. Um, yeah. So let me put this up here. Becky, do what you yeah. I mean, I think so. I think if she loses, she goes into that title match. She probably just tries to pull her weight with Adam Pearce and say, "All right, well, I want to face Stephanie." She'll say, "I got screwed at Clash in Paris. I want to face Stephanie for that world title." And yeah, maybe they have like a qualifying match or something. I don't know what they're gonna do. WWE they have me really confused right now. So the next matchup we have the Eradicator Rhea Ripley going up against Roxanne Perez, accompanied by Raquel Rodriguez. Both Raquel's doing amazing work right now. Ever since the stuff with Kevin Nash, what he put out on his pod, like her like owning the that bigger statue and like using that to her advantage, I think Raquel Rodriguez has improved a lot in the ring, and Raquel is already great. So I do love that team with Raquel and Roxanne for sure. So we start off with Rhea taking it to Roxanne. We get a drop kick by Rhea. Rhea starts throwing Roxanne into the ring apron. Body. Then we get a body drop, body drop to Roxanne Perez. She goes for the Riptide, countered. So I didn't hear this, but during the match, they said that the fans were chanting that Roxanne was Liv's little SH, or she was in some capacity. I haven't had time to get on X, but I think that's what it said. Something about that. So yeah. So yeah, another Liv reference. So Roxanne gets Rhea on the outside and gets her in trouble, sliding forearm to the back of the neck. Raquel interrupts Rhea Ripley when she goes for her Razor's Edge. Rest in peace to Scott Hall. Roxanne hits the Hurricanrana and knee to the back of the neck for a 2 count. And then we get a headbutt by Rhea Ripley. And then we get the Razor's Edge finally. But Roxanne kicks out at 2. So Roxanne then goes for the Pop Rocks, and that is countered. We did see Raquel try to get involved, but Rhea does end up knocking her off the rope and keeping her out of the match. I don't know what she did to her, but she was down for a while. So she does counter the Pop Rocks. And Rhea Ripley locks in the Riptide for the 1-2-3 win. And the Eradicator, Rhea Ripley, defeated Roxanne Perez. Talking about somebody that's taken a lot of losses on the main roster, that's been Roxanne Perez. She has taken a lot of losses on the main roster since she's come up. But she is doing phenomenal work, and she is 100% going to be a future champion for sure. So after the match, Raquel attacks her from behind. Rhea headbutt, clothesline. Out. Obviously, the numbers game catch up to Rhea. Out comes Io Sky. Io starts taking out Roxanne and Raquel. Rhea hits her headbutt, and Io with a jump handspring to knock Raquel out of the ring. And we see Rhea Ripley and Io standing tall in the ring, and Io's doing her famous thing, and they end up hugging at the end of the segment, which that's not going to make Asuka and them happy at all. So we see Seth Rollins and Paul and Bronson Reed first in the back. Seth said that you were told Paul you were right about Reed, and Paul's like, oh no, you were right about Reed, and they just go back and forth. And Seth says that he knows he is right about Reed because he knows what he's capable of. He tells Bronson Reed to destroy Roman Reigns. Then he shifts his focus to Brian Breaker. He says, tonight, Brian, make sure LA Knight, doesn't make it to Paris. Yeah. So like we got Seth and Punk throwing the paraphrases for LA Knight tonight, which is funny. He said the vision is everything that we dreamed of and on the verge of becoming so much more. So yeah, I think that's kind of a tease that we're going to be seeing someone join the vision soon. When he said that the vision is everything we've dreamed of, but it's on the verge of becoming so much more. So is somebody in that fatal four-way going to turn and join the vision? Remains to be seen. I think, I don't think it's going to be Ethan Page. Like, he's not going anywhere right now. I don't think Ricky Saints is going to be going after Obafemi next. I haven't seen Austin Theory around, so I don't know. Could it be Jey Uso? Could it be LA Knight? It's going to be one. Or could it be Punk? I don't think so. I cannot see it being CM Punk. Like, he hates Seth. Like, they hate each other too much. I can't see that. So it could be Jey or LA Knight. I don't see it being Jey though. I think he's still super over with the fans. But that promo with Roman later on, I don't know. We'll see. So next up, we get the phenomenal one, AJ Styles going one-on-one with Finn Balor. Before that, we see Io in the back with Rhea, and Rhea's like, "Well, us staying away from each other didn't last very long," and they just kind of laugh. And Asuka and Kairi come up to them and start yelling at Io about helping Rhea. And here we go again, back to this storyline that's been going on for 2 to 3 weeks now, which is going to ultimately set up either a tag match, and then we're probably going to get some singles matches out of it. With Io, Asuka, everybody was wanting that when Asuka was going for the Queen of the Ring in the finals, but we're going to get it. We're definitely going to get it. So we get AJ Styles and Finn Balor next. Great match. AJ starts off taking it to Finn with a drop on the forearm. Finn Balor blocks the phenomenal forearm and takes control of the match. He does a Pele kick to AJ Styles and a sliding forearm for a near fall. Then we have Styles hit the forearm and a sling blade. Styles hits Finn Balor with the forearm. Then after that, after they battle for a little bit, we see the sling blade by Finn Balor and a baseball kick also by Finn. He went for the he went for the paw, but got a 2 count. Finn goes up to the top. He misses the coup de grace, his finisher. And then we see AJ Styles hit the like he said, he blocked, reversed. And then he hits the Styles Clash for the 1, 2, 3. AJ Styles gets the victory over Finn Balor, and you can read his lips saying that he wants the title. And obviously later on in the program, he's going to absolutely get that opportunity. So, and this was another big part. In Raw, like the segment. This was one of the other big promos for me tonight. Jey Uso's in the back. He said that he's always having to keep his eye on the vision every week. LA Knight and CM Punk beeping, and he's just like, I just don't know what to do. And Roman said he feels you. He told him he felt like, I feel you, like Uso, I feel you. He said, don't trust. Roman tells Jey, don't trust CM Punk. He said, you have helped enough people. He said, do like what we used to do back in the day, smash them all. And then he tells Jay that sometimes he's done everything he could do for them, LA Knight and Punk. He said sometimes you just have to worry and do what's best for yourself. Jay gives him a yeet, Roman yeets back, and Jay says, and then he says, but at the end of the day, Jay, you do you. So I don't know. Could it be Jay Uso? I mean, we'll see. So after that, we get a commercial with Raw being in Paris, France next week, and it's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern. On that Raw, we're going to see AJ Styles going one-on-one with Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship, which that's I think it may be the end of Dom's reign, because I think they want to do Cena AJ. So I don't think Cena wins the IC title, but I do think that Dom may drop here because I think he's going to win the AAA championship at Worlds Collide on September 12th. So, but yeah, next week Paris, France, 2 p.m. Eastern. So then in the back we see the Bailey vignette, and then we start off with like the hugger talking to her in her ear. It's kind of this devil angel type. I don't know. I don't know what they got going on, but I'm interested to see how this develops once she gets back out onto, out there into the matches and doing promos, and if she's just gonna snap in a match. So I'm looking forward to it because Bailey's been booked really bad. She missed out on her tag title match last WrestleMania, and they just haven't really done much with her. She's had like an Intercontinental title match, but besides that, like her booking just hasn't been great. So, so we see Lyra Valkyria. I haven't seen her much lately in the back talking to Adam Pearce, and she has concerns about Bailey, like everybody else does, obviously. Adam Pearce says he hasn't heard anything, but he will let her know when he does. So Dominic Mysterio is like immediately following, coming up, and he says he wants to know if Adam Pearce is going to handle the AJ situation. Dominic said this needs to end. Adam Pearce said, "You know what, Dom? For once, I agree with you. You're right. Next week, Monday Night Raw in Paris, France. It's going to be AJ versus Dom, but not only that, it's going to be for the Intercontinental Championship." So yeah, next week on Raw, IC title match, Dom versus AJ should be a good one. I think we're gonna. I don't know if he loses though, because this whole El Grande Americano thing that he's working, like I don't know. We'll see. Should be interesting. So they show the Clash in Paris card. They did make it official with Becky and Nikki. Roman Reigns going up against Bronson Reed. Rusev versus Sheamus in a Donnybrook match. John Cena going up against Logan Paul. Seth Rollins defending the Raw Men's Heavyweight Championship against LA Knight, CM Punk, and main event Jey Uso in a fatal four-way. And Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. The sixth match that will be added Friday, I'm not going to spoil it on stream, but it will be the winner of the Street Profits against Mello versus Miz, or Mello Don't Miz, and they will be going up against the Wyatt Six at Clash of Paris. Look for that. Heard it here first. Well, not first. I was told, but obviously heard it here first on the stream. So it's either going to be the Street Profits or obviously I know who it is, but I'm not going to spoil it for people that want to watch SmackDown next week. They got two big matches coming up on SmackDown. Sammy and Solo, and then Charlotte. They got three big matches. Charlotte and Alexa against Secret Herbert for the tag title. Sammy and Solo for the U.S. title. And then the Street Profits going up against Mello Don't Miz. And the winner is going to get the Wyatt Six at Clash in Paris. So look forward to that. So we see Brian Breaker walking through the back and we see Brian Breaker walking to the back, and then we see this is where we see Roman just attack Bronson Reed. He's still back there, so it's just wild. LA Knight's going after that, after they like get them broken up and send Roman through the, escort him out the door. LA Knight, you can see LA Knight come back there, and he starts taking it to Brian Breaker in the back, and they're going to the ring. They're talking about how LA Knight lacks aggression sometimes, but he's showing that tonight. Breaker is they get to the ring. Obviously, Brian gets in control of the match. He's taunting him with the yeah chant, so he's the third person tonight. And he gets to the camera and he says that LA Knight is one half of the 100 Club. That Steiner math that we see with the 100 Club is hilarious. He thinks that Punk and LA Knight are 100 years old. We get to suplex to LA Knight by Brian. Knight with five jabs to the face and a clothesline. We get a Russian leg sweep as well. Brian to the floor. Knight with the baseball slide to Brian when he's on the floor, and then Breaker gets back in the ring, gets back in control, throws LA Knight into the announce table, and then he throws him shoulder first into the stairs. Knight, after they get back into the ring, Knight rolls him up for a quick 2. Knight went for the neck breaker, but Brian held on, and Brian goes up to the top rope and hits the Breaker Steiner on LA Knight from the top rope, but only gets a 2 count. LA Knight hits a DDT on Breaker, and then we get LA Knight with going for another neck breaker, reverse DDT on Brian Breaker, countered. So then, okay, I see what I was saying. So Knight hit the neck breaker, and then a reverse DDT on Brian Breaker. So then Brian counters the BFT and hits a massive Steiner line. And then we see a big boot by LA Knight, goes for the pin, gets a count of 2. And then Knight and Brian Breaker are up top, and we see LA Knight jump up to the top rope, so similar to what Brian Breaker does when he does that flip, the power bomb type thing with his leg on top rope. LA Knight hits a superplex off the top rope. He also goes up like Macho Man Randy Savage, hits the flying elbow to Brian Breaker. Seth Rollins' music hits at that time. He's seen enough. He runs up to the ring, acts like he's going to jump in. And with that being said, that was enough to distract LA Knight. And obviously, LA Knight comes out of the ring. He starts chasing Seth Rollins around the ring, and he catches that massive spear from Brian Breaker. Brian Breaker then throws LA Knight into the ring, runs like 2,800 miles an hour back and forth to the ring from each side of the ring, and he hits another spear for the 1, 2, 3. Brian Breaker beats LA Knight. Yeah. So obviously Seth and Brian are taking it to LA Knight, and Jay Uso comes out. He throws Breaker over the top rope. He's hitting Seth. He hits a super kick to Seth. So then Rollins hits the pedigree to Jay Uso. And then obviously you got Uso and LA Knight both down. So then we hear the Best in the World CM Punk's theme, which I love his theme music. Breaker goes. Rollins sends Breaker to meet CM Punk down in the aisleway, and they start to brawl right there. He throws Breaker into the ring post, and Punk and Rollins have a stare down. They both get in the ring. They've done this probably 100 times, but they start exchanging blows. Brian Breaker pulls Seth out of the ring, And Seth told CM Punk, "You are never going to get a piece of this." So after that, Punk helps Jay up. Knight and Punk, or LA Knight grabs Punk from behind, gets in his face, like points his finger all up in his mouth, and they start pushing each other. Just exactly what Seth Rollins wants to happen is these three not being able to like have any type of cohesion when this massive group division is trying to take over Monday Night Raw. So obviously Knight pushed Punk pushed Knight back, and then Jay Uso. So Punk pushes Knight into Jay, which we saw something similar that last week, where LA Knight went through the table, and Punk just kind of like, so what? Kind of oh well. But then LA Knight catches a super kick from Jay Uso, and then we thought Punk and Jay obviously listened to Roman. We thought Punk and Jay was cool, but then we get the super kick to CM Punk with Raw going off the air with Jay Uso on the top rope with his theme music blasting and everybody in the crowd yeeting. So yeah, good show tonight. I give it about a 7. I don't want to like pipe it up too much, but yeah, it was a decent show. I love the Roman stuff. So yeah, I thought that was great. But yeah, that is the Raw recap for tonight, guys. And like I said on my X, that I am pulling a double dipper tonight. So in about at 11 p.m. Eastern, I will be back again live on YouTube. I was not able to cover it last night because I did my NXT Heatwave recap and NXT Heatwave was on. So I'm going to be doing the LFG season 2 episode 9 recap titled Fight Back here in just about 45 minutes or so. So, like I said, we are live on my Facebook, the EVP Show YouTube channel, and my X. I'm just going to kind of go up and say thank you to Zach, Nitro, Miami for the repost, all the comments. You guys are helping me out a lot tonight. It looks like I can see 93 people watching as of right now, which is great, phenomenal. Thank you guys so much. DWE family showing support of the EVP. Thank you so much. Ryan said thumbnail is blurry as frick. Yeah, it is kind of blurry. Thank you, Alan DWE, Zach Minger, Bentu. And George, you're on a stream before. Welcome back. I like seeing you here. I think that is it for the comments. Solon says love my channel. Appreciate that, Solon. Much love. Yeah, so I'm going to leave you guys with that's been the Raw recap, and that was the go home show to Clash in Paris. I'm going to leave you guys with my outro and my thank you, and I'll be back to tell you what I have in store.
CJP's your guy, let's start the show. Tag teams breaking, factions shaking. He's got the scoop for moves they're faking. Belt on the line, dreams on display. The EVP show keeps the drama in play. It's good. Let's go where the heroes rise and the legends grow. CJP brings the shots, the EVP show is out of control.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. The Let's Go always gets me pumped up there at the end. Thank you guys so much. All the viewers that's watching live on my Facebook and my YouTube channel is the I'll get to that when I do my plugs at the end, and my X. You can find me on X at EVPCJP. You can see it down at the bottom of the screen. Instagram at EVPCJP as well. And most importantly, at the EVP show in all capitals. Thank you guys for, like I said, for tuning in tonight. If you guys don't mind hitting that like button on the video, that helps get this stream into the algorithm, and all those comments tonight. I'm so appreciative of that. You can also find me on TikTok at Brady, BradyDaGoat, Brady the Goat, Tom Brady the Goat. 21 is it's at Brady the Goat 21 on TikTok, and obviously I'm CJ Perry. If you want to, if you know, on Facebook, that's where you can find me on Facebook as well. So yeah, so like I said, coming up here in less than an hour at 11 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be doing the LFG season 2, episode 9 recap. I didn't get to do it last night, so I'm pulling double duty tonight. So if you guys want to come back for that, it probably won't be as long as a stream because LFG is only an hour. So I try to minimize and knock it down a little bit. But if you're not back, I will see you guys tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for my NXT recap. We got a super big card. Kalani Jordan going up against Blake Monroe. Lexus King going up against Miles Bourne in a blindfold match. JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Jasmine Nix going up against Lola Vice, Sol Ruka, and Zarya. And I think that's the 3 big matches. I may be leaving one out. And look for the build up for Ricky Saints and Oba Femi. The rest of the week's kind of patchy right now. There'll be a Clash in Paris prediction show. Don't know what day yet. It will be on my YouTube channel, on my X, or my Facebook. I always post my videos on there, or I always make a post when my videos are going to show up. There will be a recap show, a prediction show for Clash in Paris, but I will be back Friday for sure for my SmackDown recap. So this is going to be early. I don't have a time set yet, or do I know? Just stay tuned. I should know something by like maybe my NXT recap. If not, I'll know something by Wednesday. But then I will be back Sunday following Clash in Paris for my Clash in Paris recap. That being said, thank you guys so much. I am the EVP, and this is the EVP show with the WWE Raw on Netflix go home show to Clash in Paris recap. And that's it for tonight. Thank you guys again for showing up, and be sure to love one another. And I will be back in 40 minutes for the LFG recap. That being said, if I don't see you there, good night, folks.